Hello, my name is Hudson McCarthy, and this is my 1-year YouTube anniversary. Exactly 1 year ago today, as of publishing this video I'm currently filming, I uploaded my first video to YouTube. Well, to this channel. I did have another YouTube channel, possibly 8 or 9 years previous to this one. It feels quite odd to be in this position currently, to have a 1-year anniversary, and though this video might not be interesting to a lot of people, I know before I started this particular channel, I watched a lot of these videos because I do think the best form of learning is doing, and I have learned a lot in this past year. So first, why don't we kind of go over why I started this new YouTube channel to begin with. Why not use the old YouTube channel? I should have actually, because I do love a lot of those videos, but the reason being was that, I mean, it's no surprise if you followed this journey for a while, but I am chronically ill, and a year ago, I was in a really, really bad place. I mean, I was in a bad place since I originally became sick, which was during the summer of 2017, okay? And it was a horrific time all around. But then during December of 2018 or January of 2019, I remember waking up one day and realizing I had not come up with a story in years. And that was kind of scary. I mean, it was horrifying. My whole life had been my imagination. I know a lot of people say that, and I don't really know how to make it clear how much of my life was wrapped up within my imagination, but it was. I mean, my mom used to say that she could put me in a room, a blank room with nothing in there, and if she checked in on me 5 minutes later, I'd be completely enraptured into some game of make-believe. I could only go to bed if I made up a story to my stuffed animals, which my mom would call fake reading. So I would just sit in my bed and read aloud to all my stuffed animals, and that would put me to sleep, which then slowly formed into every night before going to bed, creating a story in my mind. And I did that all the way up until being sick. And the reason why this stopped was because of 2 side effects of my illness being brain fog and short-term memory loss. It made it impossible to think, much less have an imagination. And due to that, my writing was put on hold, but I wasn't me anymore. My whole life was dedicated to creating stories. I mean, I got into photography when I was in middle school because I just knew that I wasn't good with observation or being in touch with the sensory world. I was/am more of a intuitive person and than a sensory observant one. So I wanted my stories to be better, and I picked up a camera and I started practicing photography so I could just force myself to actually look at the outside world. By the way, totally not needed to write a story, just something I chose to do. All of my photos that I've ever taken, whether or not I like them, there is a story behind them. There's a story behind everything that I do. There's a story behind the food I eat, how I make the food, what I wear. I mean, what I wear is like a huge story in itself, and I was losing so much of me, and I needed to do something about it. Now, by the time August of 2019 rolled around, which is when I filmed all my first videos, I had hit rock bottom. I remember I sent a text to the family group chat just asking how old I was. I had completely forgotten my age. That's how bad my health had become. And that's so scary because before I was sick, I had the best memory in the family. I had something called audio memory. So it's like photographic memory, but through listening. And I couldn't even remember my own birthday. much less anything else in my life. I will mention that during the spring of 2019, I started editing my story again, and that was very difficult, and I was very much struggling on my own. So that mixed in with the memory loss, I was in this place where I was desperate for something like my old high school. It was a creative arts high school. I was surrounded by other artists, and they were creating because they had this passion inside of them, this urge to make something. Obviously, there were people who were creating to be something, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I was desperate for just to be surrounded by the traditional sense of the word artists. And my friends, who I'm still very close with, they were in different places in their life. You know, they didn't have the time to sit down and write a novel. But also, I was in this weird in-between with my friends where, I mean, disclaimer, they are some of the best friends ever. They have stuck with me during this dark period in my life, and they've never made me feel guilty or less than or like some second-class citizen. They have been really great, but I was dealing with some inner turmoil. I wasn't allowed to leave my house. I've been on bed rest since 2017, and I can't really, well, I couldn't at the time really be around people because if I got sick with anything, it was like I'd have to start all over again with my health journey. Like, that was how bad it was. And I felt guilty. They would still ask me to hang out. I think it was just more of a place of like, hey, we haven't forgotten about you. Like, we're still here. And then I would just feel guilty because I would have to cancel and I have to say no. And I was so worried about losing them that I found through my Instagram, I was becoming closer to the internet friends, the people who I didn't live by. And I thought, oh, I would love to find writer friends on here. And I did find some, and they were great. It was hard to connect with them, and not due to any fault of their own. They are each incredible people, but Instagram was starting to stress me out because everyone from my real life was also there, and whenever I would post something, I would talk to my online artist friends, but then my real life friends would be like, oh, wait, you're moving? Like, we should hang out. And it's like, health is, I keep saying I'm gonna make a video on this, but health isn't linear. It isn't like point A to point B sort of. I always do the wrong side, point A to point B. Like, I would post something, they would be like, oh, well, you took this photo, so that means you must be well because you look well, and no one was putting any pressure on me. I was putting all the pressure on myself, and I was like, you know what? I need to create a whole new platform somewhere else, make some friends, some artist friends to stay creative, be inspired, be motivated, and get back to what I love. Find me again in a safe environment, and then, I don't know, find me again? Gosh, this is so sad. This is supposed to be a happy video. So that's kind of the main reason why I created this channel. I wanted that camaraderie of friendship without this pressure that I was 100% putting on myself, of having to leave my house. As well as I wanted to get back into writing again. I wanted to be the storyteller I once was for myself, for no one else, just myself. I wanted to get back to videography. I wanted to just delve deeper into creating art in general, as well as I wanted to document my life. And I did it because of my perfectionism that surprisingly I have. I told myself that for the first year I was going to post whatever I wanted. There wasn't going to be that much of a theme. There wasn't going, I couldn't hate myself for filming something because it was all an experiment, because I knew that at the end of the year I wanted to give myself a bit of a life audit and just see what I loved, what I didn't like. And I wanted to do this by going through every video on my channel, which I did. This past week, I've been rewatching all the old videos on my channel. I have a lot of opinions about myself. During that time, I tried to remember how I felt filming it. scripting it, planning it, plotting it, editing the video, uploading the video, how I felt filling out the whole description box, creating the thumbnail, and most importantly, how I felt once that video went live. From there, I asked myself, were my intentions clear, not only within these videos, but within my channel as a whole? And if it was the video received as I had hoped it would be received? Basically asking myself throughout each of the process, does this video still resonate with me today? And honestly, it was a bit of a mixed bag. Some things were pretty obvious. Example, the fact that I do love vlogging and I do love creating slow artsy vlogs. Even though no one really cares about the slow artsy vlogs, I loved every process of making those. Yes, they were a little bit of a headache. Yes, they were difficult to make and they were harder than any other video. Well, no, sorry. The two hardest videos I made was my moving vlog and my INTJ routine. And though the INTJ routine still really bothers me that there is a typo within my own name in that video, those were still very rewarding videos. And I really loved the style of how they were filmed. I do actually really love them, even though they were the biggest headaches. But I love making artsy slow vlogs and I want to make more of them, you know? That's the whole point of this, to figure out what I love so I can really hone my time and energy into only creating that sort of thing. I also love seeing that documentation of my writing journey. That's a gift in itself, especially coming from short-term memory loss and brain fog. And by the way, I'm doing so much better in those categories. There's still bad days because, like I said, it's never a straight line. But surprisingly, something that I did not expect to love was creating sit-down discussion videos, kind of like this one here. It was such a rewarding process filming it, editing it, and once it was out there, and I really loved the discussions that came out of the videos. Now, all the good things being said, I do have a few regrets over this past year because, we're human. Of course we're going to make mistakes. One is uploading 2 videos a week. Now, I wish I could master the whole 2 videos a week thing, but I just currently where I'm at with my videography skills as well as with like my health and just being able to juggle things, I can't do it. I have this strict rule for myself that I can't post a video just to post a video. And I did try that throughout the year because, like I said, it was a try anything type of year. And I kind of regretted it. Yeah, no, I want all my videos to have a level of quality that I deem good. I don't care if everyone else loves them. I just want to look back and be proud of those videos. Funnily enough, I feel like the ones that I am proud of, people are probably like, well, these are so boring. They're for me, okay? All right, another thing I regret, my slow descent into giving up. Well, as I watched my videos from the first one all the way to now, there is this slow decline of just, not professionalism, but just being put together. I stopped brushing my hair, I stopped putting on clothes, and I really love the act of getting ready. Through my illness, it's helped me feel the most human. I do know that most of my giving up, if you will, would mainly equate to lockdown happening, but the thing is, I was in a personal quarantine since 2017. Like, this isn't a new thing for me. I think just watching the world react to it kind of depressed me. And then this one's a weird one because I understand why this regret, if you will, would have happened, but I regret not making all the videos that I had planned to make. So originally when I started this channel, I mentioned it in some early first video that I made. This wasn't going to be a purely writing channel. It was just like, it was going to be everything that I said earlier. It was going to be about photography and history and tea and clothes and just, it was a lifestyle channel. And with an emphasis on writing. That there was always going to be writing, but I don't know, when I got started, I really fell in love with my story and I just obsessed over it. I was so afraid of going back to how I was before that I festered into my story. And if I if I looked away for it for just a second, I felt guilt of like, well, what if the brain fog comes back? What if the memory loss comes back? And due to that reason, it just, I pushed all those videos to the wayside. Like, I had so many ideas that I can't even, and I still want to make them, and I plan on making them. It's just, I just fell in love with writing again, and then I just like full on went into writing mode. So all my content was writing related for the most part. I mean, there were a few like non-writing videos, like my slow artsy vlogs. I don't know. I just wanted to create, and like this channel was more dedicated to storytelling, not so much with just my writing, but with my photography, the vlogs themselves, some food, clothes, everything I mentioned before. And I just obsess over things. But like I said, I don't regret making any of those videos. I just wish I would have had more of other videos, the other videos I wanted to make as well. But that's completely on me. I mean, yeah, that one's a weird regret, isn't it? It's like, I'm proud of myself, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, I wish I would have made more content. So going forward, I hope to make every video that I've wanted to, that I love, that I actually take the time, take a step back and be like, listen, just because you focus a video on something else, it doesn't mean your love for writing is going to disappear. It doesn't mean the brain fog is going to come back. It doesn't mean the memory loss is going to come back. I mean, I'm still going to make tons of writing videos. I still feel like that's gonna be the main point of this channel. Also, my goal is to get dressed, and maybe this one I'm still unsure about, but I might be changing my upload date. If I'm only posting once a week, I have to think about that. I have to think about it, because this is the perfect segue to the final part of this video. What have I learned in this past year and what I hope to learn in the next? I learned a lot this year. I learned so much. For starters, the most important thing I learned was how to handle with the autofocus noise that my camera used to make in videos. Oh, that killed me. That killed me on the inside, let me tell you. I also learned to not script my videos. I know you're probably asking, but you're reading off something right now. These are bullet points, okay? There was once a video that is the worst performing video on my entire, sorry, I need to cross my leg. It's like that scene from The Princess Diaries. There was a video where I literally scripted every single thing that I said, because like I said, it was an experimental year. I wanted to try it, and it was the worst video ever. I looked so awkward. I need to have a bullet point list in front of me to stay on task, but other than that, nothing more, nothing less. Going off of that, don't film while you are out of breath or not feeling well. The amount of times I'm out of breath in videos and me trying to edit out the Make sure you are comfortable with what you are wearing. This one seems very odd because obviously you should only own clothes that you're comfortable with, but there are days when some clothes feel more comfortable than others. And I wish I would have figured that out before I started filming, because I look very uncomfortable. Taking time off is fine. Talked about that already. Oh, don't do quick turnaround videos. I have discovered throughout this year that I need 3 days to edit a video, unless it's a vlog. If it's a vlog, then I need to be editing each evening what I have filmed that day, or else my videos just have no point to them. And that is something I would love to work on with my vlogs going forward, just them having more of a point. But if they are not vlogs, then I need 3 days to edit the video. And then the final two things that I've learned this year is I learned how to film on my 5D Mark IV. That's awesome. I'm so happy about that. I mean, I've used it for photography a bunch, obviously, but the whole filming thing kind of freaked me out. And with that, I learned Final Cut Pro. Now, I'm still very much a beginner but I learned it. I learned Final Cut Pro, and that's so exciting. So now what do I hope to learn? What do I hope to learn going forward? Other than having a point to my vlogs, I would like to master the art of transitions, lighting, and color grading. I have been working towards color grading all year, and I still don't understand it. Diane, I mean, I keep telling you, you have to teach me. I would also really like to learn how to film on my G7X. There's a compression issue with the camera that we're trying to figure out, but I would like to vlog on that camera more than vlog on this heavy camera because the weight difference is huge. That's not the word I was looking for. Brain fog. With the whole point to the vlogs, I'd also like to kind of figure out a filming formula. Like I've experimented with different ways to showcase a vlog or a sit-down video, and I would like to step up my game a little bit. I don't know, just go more towards these videos that I want to make that I haven't felt confident to try. So I want to try some of that out. And lastly, a big thing I'd like to learn is figure out the storage situation on my laptop, because I would love to edit more than one video at once so I can constantly like have things just waiting to be uploaded, but I don't know how to figure that out. So yeah, this is my year in review, my YouTube audit, I guess you could say. I don't know if you find this interesting, but I don't know, maybe some of the things I learned could help you. Let me know, what are some of the things you learned during your first year, or what you've learned so far, what you've learned looking over your time on YouTube, where you are now. Hopefully that made sense. And let me know if there's something you're looking forward to figuring out as things go on. Everything I wanted out of this experience I did receive, and now it's just up to me to turn this channel into what I want it to be, and everything I want it to be. It will be magnificent. No, it will be subpar for anyone else, but it'll be magnificent for me. And that's the point of this, is I think anything you do in life, you should be doing your best for yourself. And that, I don't know, that's the point of this video, to look back on for the next year. So if you're new here, thank you for watching. If you've been here for a while, even if it was just like, I don't know, the day before, thank you. It means a lot. And I'll see you in the next one.